Hi, students. Welcome back to another week. This week, we are going to be talking about the basic fundamentals of writing an argumentative essay. The things that we're really going to capitalize on and really turn our attention to are the introduction and a body paragraph. So, what is the main purpose of an introduction? The main purpose of an introduction is to first let your reader know the issue you'll be discussing. What topic are you arguing? Secondly, you're going to be presenting any background information that's going to help contribute to the purpose of the essay. For you guys, this would be a great place to give a little bit of background information about the person that you are trying to argue is the best leader in your field. Maybe you're going to talk about a little bit about their accomplishments or who they are or what they're known for. It's a great place to just capture your reader's attention so they know the focus. Let your reader know what your main message or your thesis statement is. This is perhaps the most important part of the introduction. If your introduction is missing the thesis statement, then it truly is not an introduction at all. And then also, you have an option to give them a roadmap. You can show various parts of your argument and you can break down essentially what your essay is really going to be talking about. There are a few things that you need to keep in mind and just keep a mental checklist in your head. Your introduction should always have a hook, a transition, and of course, your conclusion. So, what should not be in your introduction? The introduction is not a place to begin unpacking your arguments. This should be taking place in your body paragraphs. I often tell students if you see that your introduction is getting too detailed, or if you're starting to go into statistics or some other just minor, really the minor topics that really should be in the place of topic sentences, you know that you're going too in depth into your introduction and you're not just introducing the topic at that point. Something else to consider is why questions would not be a wise practice in your introduction. When you're creating an argumentative essay, when you're asking rhetorical questions, and a lot of you probably were told to do this when you were in middle and high school, just as a way to engage the audience, asking questions such as, who do you think the best leader is? Or what leadership qualities do you look for in your field? But what I want you to consider is that kind of rhetorical content, when you're asking a question, seems that you're still open for ideas and you're open for interpretations. So in an argumentative essay, it's simply not a wise practice. You want your language and your diction to be clear, concise, and as though you have a firm stance and grip on the argument you're presenting. So I want to take a look at an example for this particular essay. An educator spends on average 35 hours a week with a child. Those hours each week add up to be a large portion of a child's life over the course of 18 years of education. When considering that time, it is evident that teachers are some of the most influential people in the nation. While there are many great educators, Geoff Canada stands alone as one of the most impactful, world-changing educators of all time. Geoff Canada is a shining example for educators everywhere as he seeks to bring the best education system to the streets of Harlem and transport those systemic improvements to the whole nation. Through examining his ability to overcome insurmountable obstacles, his great desire to help other educators empower themselves in the classroom, and his sheer passion for individual children, Geoff Canada is arguably the leader in education of the 21st century. Now, I want to take a look and break this down a little bit for you. So first and foremost, I began the introduction with this really engaging hook. Most people probably do not know that educators spend that kind of time with a child. So it immediately draws the reader into something that they didn't know to begin with. And then what you see is I clearly transition this attention grabber into the purpose of the essay. I give you a little bit of information about Geoff Canada. One, which is that he is a world-changing educator. And then I go into the true argument. Through examining his ability to overcome insurmountable obstacles, his great desire to help other educators empower themselves in the classroom, and his sheer passion for individual children, Geoff Canada is arguably the leader in education of the 21st century. What you can see there is I have a clear argument, a clear message that I'm trying to deliver, but even a step further, I've even given you a roadmap into what I'm going to be breaking down in this essay. Questions to ask yourself as you complete your introduction. Is the issue clearly stated? Do you have a clear purpose in your argument? Do you have a clear thesis statement? Where is it? If you can't locate it in the introduction and it's not at the end, then that's something you need to revisit. Does the reader know what to expect in your essay? And what did the reader walk away thinking? I always end with this question because I really want students to just examine the purpose at the end of their introduction. Did I say what I meant to say? Did I convey what I was trying to convey? What was the clear message and thesis? So the next thing that I want to examine is, what is the point of a body paragraph? What is its job? The body paragraph should share a point that proves the thesis statement. The body paragraph should provide a clear idea as to why your leader is the greatest leader in your specific field. The body paragraph should use supportive research to support your ideas, and the body paragraph should explain that research as you're connecting it to the larger scheme of your essay. What should not be in your body paragraph? You should simply not repeat an introduction. Oftentimes when students write an essay, I kind of see this repeat of introduction idea. And the first body paragraph that you have after the introduction should begin proving that thesis. Multiple ideas should not exist in one body paragraph. Each body paragraph should have a clear focus point that you are proving that once more connects to the overall thesis statement. Paragraphs should always have supportive evidence. If you have a paragraph that has no supportive evidence, then you need to consider how you need to incorporate research into your ideas. And then finally, paragraphs that begin or end with research rather than your own ideas. Each paragraph should always begin with the topic sentence, and it should end with the summative sentence. If you have paraphrasing or quotations at the beginning or end, part of the issue that exists is that you have not gone on to explain that research. You can't assume that your reader just understands why you incorporated research into your ideas. You have to do the explaining for them. So here's an example of a body paragraph. Geoff Canada's background and past experiences equipped him to learn how to solve problems, overcome great obstacles, and obtain a press-on mentality in the face of challenges. What I've done there is I've given you a clear topic that supports my overall thesis statement that he is the greatest leader in education. In the world of education, where there are multifaceted issues, his past simply proved to him that nothing was impossible to overcome. In the article, An Overcomer, Mary Hargett and Tristan Day share about Canada's absentee father, his ability to overlook the meager meals shared in his home, and his intense desire to be more. Through a glance into his childhood, it is clear Canada did not allow his life circumstances to control his destiny. Rather than succumb to the environment he was in, he used those experiences to equip himself with the knowledge and power to change the school systems in his past hometown. This indicates his incredible ability to overcome challenges. Another article cites a teacher's thoughts on Canada, which states, he always had a smile on his face. It seemed he actually liked the challenge. Brown, etc., 165. The article proves Canada's background seemed to have a great purpose in his future life and career. His desire to overcome obstacles in Harlem as an educator stemmed directly from the hardships he experienced as a child. He is not simply seeing the children of Harlem and their challenges, but he directly experienced them himself. Let's take a closer look at this paragraph. What I want to do here is what I've highlighted here is in yellow. Those are my thoughts. my ideas. And you can see here, this is clearly verbiage that is not cited. What I want you to see is that the paragraph should truly be mostly your thoughts, your conclusion, your analysis. What the research does is it supports that analysis. If the paragraph is built on nothing but research, then the real problem exists that you are not using your own ideas. You're simply taking a paragraph and you're constructing a lot of research with no unique ideas that belong to you. You're relying on other people to write your work. Several concepts to note. When you're writing about a topic, stay on topic. Make sure that your words and research support the initial idea that you started with. Everything should relate back to the topic sentence. Use transitional language. Your sentences should flow from one idea to the next very seamlessly. Consider what language to use when moving from one idea to the next and ask yourself, does this flow well? Is it clearly stated? Do I have seamless transitions? Introduce your article or your author in a signal phrase and ensure that you have either cited the correct information in your sentence or your in-text citation. If you look at the examples here, in this sentence, what I've done is I've used a signal phrase to show you which article I'm going to use as well as the author. In the article in Overcomer, Mary Hargett and Tristan Days, I gave credit to the authors in the signal phrase. Share about Canada's absentee father, his ability to overlook the meager meals shared in his home, and his intense desire to be more. And then you see the page number that's connected to that source. In the other article right here, another article, you see that I did not give the name or the article title, cites a teacher's thoughts on Canada, and I give the quote, but here in the in-text citation, since I didn't use that author's name in the signal phrase, I did use it in the parenthetical expression. Another thing I want you to remember is always close the paragraph by using a summative sentence, indicating that you are moving on to another idea. I hope this was helpful. I'm looking forward to reading your rough drafts that are due this week. And if you have any questions, don't ever hesitate to reach out. Let's make it another great week.